Marriage seems absurd.
To me, I understand why people get married. I think I understand it better than most people. But it just, to me, doesn't make any sense.
Why do they get married?
I think we need a lot more time. I think it's cultural pressure.
Okay.
I think it's performative. I think it's because we live in a society, if not a world, that presumes marriage is a good idea. I think that is tied to medieval institutions. It's tied to things that are way before us. And it's tied to partly land ownership. It's partly tied to religious concepts. It's partly, what Freud talks about in Civilization and its discontents. It's so we're not all killing each other over mates. We've structured society around this idea of turning pair bonds, which, by the way, is a very healthy permutation with which to raise children. And it fits our biology quite nicely, in terms of the amount of time that a child's in gestation versus, But I think we're just like running a program that it was here before us and that we've been taught is how it's supposed to be. This is what you do. Like, again, ask the question.
You think it's a bad idea, don't you?
Getting married?
Yeah.
I think it's an incredibly bad idea. I think it's an incredibly dangerous idea. I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's a dangerous idea. There's a difference between those two things. Like skydiving is a dangerous idea. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but it's a dangerous idea. It depends on how much joy you place on that thing, right? Like for me, the joy of jumping out of a plane as compared to the danger of jumping out of a plane precludes me from jumping out of planes. Maybe I'm missing out on something. That's okay. I'll live with it. There's lots of cool stuff to do. I haven't gotten bored yet. Marriage is kind of the same thing. Like, I think marriage is, again, because turn around the question, which is, we know, facts, marriage is overwhelmingly unsuccessful. It is way more dangerous than skydiving. Yes, you die from the skydiving, but the chances of a catastrophic skydiving incident is like 0.0003, and one where you die is 0.00001. It's like very limited, the chances of dying from skydiving. Whereas the chances of divorce, again, 56% divorce rate. How many stay together who are unhappy and they just stay together because they don't give up half their stuff or for religious reasons or whatever? This is a technology with an unbelievably bad failure rate.
Do more people die from marriage or skydiving?
Well, I think more people wish they were dead from marriage than skydiving. I think most people's sense of self, many people's sense of self dies as part of an unhappy marriage. Like, it's not a question of will you die. It's that you're alive and not living your life in a way that's enjoyable or in a way that's authentic to who you are. And I think a lot of people are doing that as a function of the choice that they made of marriage. And again, I'm not saying don't get married. But what I'm saying is, when someone says, I'm getting married, why is it impolite to say, why? Why? You're about to do something incredibly dangerous that fails so much of the time. Why not just say, why? I'm not saying, why would you do that? It's stupid. I'm saying, why? Because most people's answer doesn't make any sense. Well, because, I don't want to be alone. Wait, you have to get married to not be alone? Join a church group. I don't know. Join a baking squad. Join a softball team. You won't be alone. What does that mean? Well, I want to have, regular sex. Okay, I don't know that getting married is the solution to that. Like, it's not a guarantee of regular sex. Like, that's not, so if the question, first of all, you're not even allowed to ask the question why. If anything, if you don't say, oh my God, that's so great, you have intimacy issues.
People say for the kids, it's good for the kids and...
Which kids? The kids you've already had or the kids you're going to have? You're saying we're getting married so that we can have... And by the way, again, okay, you're saying societally it's good for... I think what you're saying is it's good for a mother and a father in a household with children together, right? So the polarity of male and female. Again, I know a lot of same-sex couples that have raised very successful, happy children. So maybe you're saying a two-parent family is a good thing, that it doesn't have to be male and female. Whatever. Okay, that's all true. What does a marriage license have to do with that? What does the government getting involved have to do with that?
It gives me security.
What's security? You're saying something that fails 56% of the time makes you feel like you get security? That's a really weird sense of security. If I said to you, I've got an airbag in my car that doesn't deploy 70% of the time, would you drive around feeling safe? Or would you go like, this is a lottery I don't want to participate in. I'm just going to strap myself in and do something else because I'm not going to rely on this 30% airbag.
You wouldn't have a job.
Well, that's main reason. I don't know. I mean, listen, I've been saying for years that I think I have tremendous job security. And it makes me very happy on one level, and it makes me very sad at another level that I have such job security. I don't think we're getting better at this. I think we're getting worse at it. And I don't think by the time I retire, which isn't that far away, like I don't think we're going to get so good at it that I'm going to be out of a job.
If you love the Diary of a CEO brand and you watch this channel, please do me a huge favor. Become part of the 15% of the viewers on this channel that have hit the subscribe button. It helps us tremendously, and the bigger the channel gets, the bigger the guests.